I'm a person who you think would like Halloween, but as soon as I get down to it, I really want to do like ugly Halloween. Like I want to dress like Schmeagol from the Lord of the Rings. And I want to hire a hair and makeup team, like professional prosthetics. I want to get into Halloween like that. I can't really do the half in, half out. If we're gonna go scary, let's go scary.
Did you have a favorite costume as a kid?
My mom made me an M&M costume that I wore for 3 years.
What color?
Green M&M. She's like the sexy one. She's always the one who's like batting her lashes and is like telling the brown M&M to like come hither. I made it really unsexy. It was like so unflattering and it's like the weird 3-fingered gloves. I wore that for a couple years in a row.
Have you actually been Schmeagol?
No, I want to. I want to really badly. My hair is like short enough that a bald cap could seamlessly fit over it. I think it could work. My name is Chase Sweet Wonders. The show we're gonna talk about is called The Studio on Apple TV+. I got an email that said Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg on the top of it, and I immediately tore through it and I auditioned. But it was like a 10-minute riff session with Seth Rogen that I felt very underprepared for. He lit up a joint at the end of it and he was like, "That was great." And I was like, okay. He has the best laugh. Immediately after I hung up the Zoom session, I watched a 10-minute compilation of Seth Rogen's laughs.
And now you have to kind of scheme against him on the show.
It's pretty intimidating to scheme against someone who's been like your childhood hero and then call them a little biatch, a little bitch. Calling Seth Rogen a little bitch on like the first week of meeting him was intimidating for sure.
Would people say you were a theatrical child?
I was incredibly shy. I couldn't speak outside of my home, so I would speak to my siblings and my mom, but like my mom would take me to the grocery store and her friends would be like, "How old are you?" And I would just stare at them dead-eyed. I would just thought like everything that everyone was saying was so embarrassing and I couldn't bear, like I don't want to participate in the public embarrassment that's happening outside my home. I think I'm making up for lost time by talking so much now. The first job I ever booked was the chorus in my community theater. I was the knife in Beauty and the Beast. I was wearing like a whole, very long, tall sort of costume held together by wires. I had to sing, but I did so very quietly. I had no stage presence at that time. There's actually a video of me in one of these plays and I'm kind of cut in half by the curtain. I'm kind of like doing the dance moves while like bumping into the curtain. I was fine there. I was really happy with that just the slice of my face hanging out. The first job I actually got paid to do was, funnily enough, Judd Apatow cast me in The King of Staten Island, but I got cut from the film, which is hard to do in a Judd Apatow film because they're notoriously long. But I've since spent some time with him. He's a great guy, and he said, "Chase, never forget, I actually discovered you. Even though you're on the cutting room floor, a lot of great actresses have been on my cutting room floor." So I see it as a badge of honor.
What's your secret skill?
I'm a figure skater. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I bounced around from ice hockey rinks to figure skate. I would take off my figure skates, then get in my hockey equipment with all the stinky boys. And I just like lived at the rink. There's a waltz, there's like a toe loop. The toe loop is a good one. I can still do my axel, which I'm very proud of, which is like a spin and a half.
What was your outfit like?
I was a really aggressive tomboy, so I hated wearing those tight like leotards. I never wore skirts. So I would a lot of jewels, a lot of like ruffles, but I hated to wear them. That was my least favorite part. I have crashed a wedding. Oh God, it sounds so glamorous. It was a post-college trip. Me and all my college friends took a trip to Greece and we're on a beach and we're like swimming in the water until the sun is setting. And we swim over and we realize there's a wedding going on. So we're in all our bathing suits and wet clothes. And we established a plan. We're just gonna go in there and just be the life of the party. And we were like dancing on the dance floor in this wedding for like 5 or 6 songs. And everyone was happy to welcome us in, even though we were sopping wet strangers. But yeah, the Greeks are doing it right.
Do you have any fashion moments that you regret?
Yes, I wore Heelys Are you familiar with Heelys? I wore it for long enough that I had to get like several sizes year after year. As my feet were growing, I wore those everywhere. I wore those to church. I wore those to school. Anytime my mom was going to the grocery store, I was like, I'm coming with you so I can roll Heely down those aisles. That's those linoleum, those sweet, sweet linoleum floors. I never wanted to stop skating.
Are you more like a dog or like a cat?
I would say I'm like a dog. I'm allergic to cats, so I have just a general aversion to them because I'm allergic. So I don't spend much time around felines, but I'm not dissimilar to Zora, I would say. I'm a dog who is kind of in their lane, not necessarily running up to you and all over you. Okay, I had a big crush on Justin Bieber. I went to go see that documentary, Never Say Never, I think it was called. I saw it a couple of times in theaters, and I was just like, man, that guy's got the sauce. Baby was about me, and I was the one less lonely girl.